What's going on, everybody? C4 here, and welcome to our third to last rebuild here for the realistic rebuilds in Madden 19. And today, we're going to be doing your Super Bowl runners-up in the LA Rams. So, how do we rebuild a team that just went to the Super Bowl? Well, I guess it's kind of good that they lost, because we did see a team that looked completely overmatched when they went up against the New England Patriots. And if you're following me on Twitter, I called the score to that game, kind of. I said Patriots by 10. I didn't have any belief in the Rams, and everyone knows my reasonings for the Rams. I get a little upset when people say Jared Goff's better than Carson Wentz, but ultimately, that's not that bad, because I don't think they're so far apart in terms of skill that I can get, really upset. But without a doubt, the biggest trigger for me is Sean McVay beating Doug Peterson for Coach of the Year last year. I think that's one of the biggest rivalries in professional sports for meaningless asterisk awards. But that being said, I do like a lot of players here on this Rams team personally. Obviously, so we got Jared Goff at quarterback. He's 83 with a quick dev. He's most likely going to be our franchise quarterback. We got Todd Gurley, who I've been pretty adamant is one of my favorite, if not my favorite running back in the league. 95 superstar. They got CJ Anderson, who actually could be kind of interesting for us to utilize as an RB2. I don't know if we're going to be able to re-sign him or not. They got Brandin Cooks, Robert Woods. I'm a big fan of Cooper Kupp. I like what he brings. Gerald Everett, Tyler Higbee. You got Whitworth, who is very old on the offensive line. We have to get younger on the left side. But luckily, through the right-hand side, there's actually some players that have developed. Austin Blythe is up to an 82 overall, 26. So he should hopefully be our right guard for the remainder of the rebuild. We got Rob Havenstein, 26, 82. Again, I kind of hope that right-hand side of the offensive line is intact. It's already set. On the defensive side, we got Brockers. He's probably going to be a cap casualty sooner than later. But, of course, you got Aaron Donald, freak of nature, best defensive player in the league. Ndamukong Suh's on a one-year rental. So, maybe get younger at the defensive line. Linebacker, we have Samson Ebukam, 80 normal. Maybe we can develop him into something. Same goes with, obviously, Mark Barron will be a cap casualty. But Corey Littleton's developed pretty nice. At 24, 77 overall. I'm going to hope that him and Ebukam can develop as our linebackers. Not really a great scheme fit there for Dante Fowler. He'll probably go to free agency. We got, cap casualty here and probably a keep to leave sooner than later. Marcus Peters, long-term plan, hopefully. Same goes with Nikel Roby-Coleman. Other than that, though, you might want to look at bringing in a younger player at cornerback. LaMarcus Joyner's on the tag. Maybe try to re-sign him. Not going to get bent over, but if it's an affordable deal like we see countless times here in rebuilds with safeties, in particular, for whatever reason, their contracts are fairly reasonable. Yeah, LaMarcus Joyner for sure. And John Johnson is absolute baller. After you did that chopper style taunt when they, I think it was actually him that picked off Drew Brees in overtime in that controversial Saints-Rams NFC Championship game, you get a whole lot of respect from me. And I already thought very highly of him. And a really good special teams unit between Legatron, who's an 86, and Johnny Hecker, who's an 85. So that is our roster. I mean, outside of kind of trimming the fat and getting our books in line with where we need to be and getting a little bit younger, not expecting, great difficulty in this rebuild. So let's make sure we get a Super Bowl and this goes down as one of our successful rebuilds. All right, so kind of already looking around at what players we can look at trading. We have Tyler Higbee, who was a 79 tight end, was our backup behind Gerald Everett. So we made the move to switch him to the New York Jets for Darren Lee, who is another linebacker that I think will be beneficial to come over to our team. He's not a scheme fit for the Jets, and maybe he can turn around and be our starting middle linebacker. But then that kind of gives us the ability to free up like $7 or $8 million worth of cap by getting rid of Mark Barron. So we are roughly just over the midway point of year number 1. We're 6-4 in a very competitive NFC West, where 49ers are 8-2. Seahawks are 6-3. So we're probably at this point, unless the Niners get the injury bug, but injuries are turned off in rebuilds, probably going to be fighting for that final wildcard spot. Looking at contracts here, here's what I'm thinking. So Corey Littleton, I think we're going to start a little bit lower. We have $77 million worth of cap, so we'll make sure we get Corey Littleton locked up. Then from that on, Dante Fowler, he has that quick dev. He's playing actually pretty well this year, and under $20 million for that contract is fairly reasonable. Then we have Roger Saffold. That rating's only going to go down. He's 30, so we got to look at spending our money better. LaMarcus Joyner's a little bit interesting, 37 mil. If you'll take this, we'll get him locked up, and then everyone else can kind of walk. And he wants more money. He's only, 20, 29. We probably could get him into the 90s, and he'll finish around high 80s. Maybe we could do that. But we got to get younger. Saffold and Suh got to go. And at the end of year number 1, look at that juicy playoff matchup. It's in the wild card round, but I don't think you could have asked for a better opponent. 11-5 Rams, 11-5 Saints. As we're firing all cylinders here. 95 offense, 91 defense. Runners up in the NFC West with an 11-5 record. Look at how well we played. Goff played very, very well. 4,000 passing yards, 39 touchdowns to 4 picks. I don't think you got MVP, but I'm going to be hard-pressed to see anyone that have a better year than that. 1,600 yards, 15 touchdowns from Todd Gurley, 450 and 7 for C.J. Anderson. No 1,000-yard receivers because, of course not. But Gerald Everett had a really good year. 74 catches, 800 yards, 8 touchdowns, 16 touchdowns from Cooper Kupp. Good God. Defensively, Corey Littleton played very well at middle linebacker. 113 tackles, 5 TFLs, 4 sacks. We had 12.5 sacks from Aaron Donald, 12.5 from Ndamukong Suh, 5 from Samson Ebukam, 4 picks, Nikel Roby-Coleman, 3 from Aqib Talib, and a couple singles. Yearly awards MVP went to Tom Brady. My God, a 39-4 touchdown interception season only gets you at number 5. Todd Gurley at number 6 in the MVP race. Offensive player of the year went to Drew Brees with Todd Gurley at 2, Jared Goff at 3. Defensive player of the year went to Deion Jones. Corey Littleton coming in at number 3. Defensive Rookie of the Year went to Saquon Barkley. No real surprise there. Defensive Rookie of the Year went to Roquan Smith. Okay, well, here we go. The rematch. The rematch is on. I wonder if the refs are going to blow any big-time calls in this one. Let's tell Nikel Roby-Coleman to play really aggressive in this matchup. All right, let's go. Let's have a good, clean game, everybody. No freaking controversies, or else the Saints fans will never stop crying about it. 7-7. Okay. High-scoring game so far. Not a lot of defense. Defense is picking up here in the second quarter, though. That's what I like to see because we have a much better defense on paper than the Saints do. So, of course, the Saints will be kind of going off here with the lead. But we're able to get in the red zone. When we are in scoring position, we are getting touchdowns and not field goals. And there we go. Just like that, 2 straight touchdowns gives us a 4-point lead. Saints get a quick touchdown with 3 minutes left to go. Let's go. 4-point lead with 2 minutes left. The Saints cut through our defense like butter. And, oh my God. Oh my God. That's garbage. We had like a minute to go and we didn't move. That's the sim. That's sim cheese right there. That's garbage. I'm not even going to get frustrated about it because it's almost the weekend. But here you go. This is why this sim sucks. And have you guys noticed like no one's playing Madden anymore? God. What an embarrassment. So our offseason, we did not spend any money in free agency because I know we have a lot of in-house signings the next couple of years. So our draft had to go pretty well. We got Dalton Risner here at right tackle. He can play pretty much anywhere on the offensive line. With Andrew Whitworth retiring, I'm probably going to move Rob Havenstein to left tackle and let Risner stay at right. We got Eric McCoy as our new starting center because John Sullivan also retired. Darrell Henderson in the 4th round as our new running back backup to Todd Gurley as C.J. Anderson went to free agency. Then we just finished on the draft with Derwin Gray in the 6th round. Had a quick dev, so I mean it was an all right pick, but obviously not a whole lot of draft ammunition here for the Rams. As we start year number 2, hopefully making back-to-back playoff appearances, and more importantly, winning the NFC West and then winning the Super Bowl. A couple changes in our team. Our team's roster obviously has dropped down a bit as we lost a couple starters on the offensive line. Saffold regressed 4 points. We lost our starting left tackle in Andrew Whitworth. We lost our starting center in John Sullivan. But otherly, outside of that, everyone else has gotten better. Then on the defensive side, we're at 87. So no more Ndamukong Suh. We're going with Blackson here just kind of as a band-aid at D tackle. Aqib Talib has regressed a lot. But other than that, everything else is kind of coming along nicely. So still a really competitive team. We're only what were we? We were 90 last year, I think 91 maybe. So it is a regression, but it's kind of what happens with the Rams roster. They kind of went all or nothing last year, and this is kind of what's going to happen, I think, in the coming years. In real life for the Rams, they're going to have to do a little bit of shuffling, a lot of change into the guard while still trying to remain competent and competitive. So, yeah, not as good as we were last year, but I still feel confident that we can get back into the playoffs and win the NFC West. So we are at the roughly midway point of year number 2 with a 4-2 record to start the season, which puts us, 1 game behind the Seattle Seahawks, who are 5-1 in the NFC West. Looking at how many players we need to resign. Here's why I did not want to look anywhere really meaningful in free agency, because I knew we're going to have to spend a lot to retain our talent. Marcus Peters, absolutely need to get him locked up Jared Goff, and that's actually pretty decent that we got Jared Goff on an $85 million deal, because sometimes, as we see, with Carson Wentz and the Eagles, this offer can very well be $150 million. So getting an affordable deal here for Jared Goff is really going to help how much we can be able to build the team. He wants a little bit more money, but still, it's not going to be the $150 million plus that we see more often than not. Austin Blythe, we'd absolutely like to bring him. Of course, he's going to bend us over. God damn it, Darren Lee, Austin Blythe. You know what, Legatron? Okay, Legatron will get him locked up. Michael Brockers also is pretty good. He's 28. That's not a lot of money. So, yeah, we'll be able to lock up all these guys because we were conscientious with our first free agency window. And, yeah, the big story of this is that Goff only wants like $85 million when I was fully expecting him to be like 120 to 150. Oh, okay. See how well that works out for you there, big dog. So in light of news of Jared Goff wanting to go to free agency, me being uncertain if we're going to tag him or not, we do have a gold gloves to hand out, and that is to Mr. God Turley himself. He's known as God Turley if you had him in fantasy football. Really the last 2 years, but definitely last year when I had him. So it's been like the 2017 fantasy season. He pretty much carried me to my second championship. I won it again this year. Humble brag, and I didn't need a Todd Gurley, but big fan of Todd, and glad that we can give him his gold gear today. Congrats, big dog. At the end of year number 2, I think we got a bye. We just edged out the Seattle Seahawks with an 11-5 record to get that first round bye and win our first NFC West championship. All amongst the drama of Jared Goff. Will he return? Will he not return? Let's take a look here at the stats. Let's be honest here. I feel like not the Chip Kelly things about this, things that your scheme's above all talent. But I think if we just get a decent quarterback, draft a quarterback, whatever, I'm not going to overpay for Jared Goff. I feel like a good young quarterback will be able to excel in this system. And while, it may go along the realm of is this realistic or not, would the Rams ever let Jared Goff hit free agency? Well, if Jared Goff said he wasn't going to sign a very reasonable deal, he can go pound sand. But still, 4,200 yards, 37 touchdowns, 9 picks is really good year out of Jared Goff. 1,700 yards, 15 touchdowns from Todd Gurley. He's a monster. 92 catches, 1,100 yards, 13 TDs from Robert Woods. Pretty good year for everybody else. Defensively, Darren Lee, 115 tackles, 9 tackles for loss, 2.5 sacks. We got 9.5 sacks here from Aaron Donald, 8 from Samson Ebukam, 7.5 from Dante Fowler. A couple doubles in the interception department. So I'm kind of surprised Aaron Donald's not playing as good as I would have expected, but it is what it is. Todd Gurley coming in at number 3 in the MVP race. Jared Goff at number 8. In the NFC, Offensive Player of the Year went to Todd Gurley. Congrats to you. Jared Goff coming in at 6. Defensive Player of the Year went to KJ Wright. And we had nobody there. Offensive Rookie of the Year went to Justice Hill. Darrell Henderson, our backup running back, coming in at 4. Defensive Rookie of the Year went to Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. And unfortunately, because we went heavy in the offensive line, we didn't have anyone make it. So finding out who we're going to be taking on in the NFC divisional round here in year 2. And surprise, surprise, it's the Dallas Cowboys, who are always a playoff team because obviously with the XP sliders and all of the Cowboys' very generous quick devs and beyond that, they are always a really, really stacked team. So here we go. Year number 2 in the playoffs. All right, here we go. Year 2, one less game to play, one less game to worry about. We just skipped that wild card round. So clearly we're not going to be one and done yet again, right? So we're trading touchdowns here in the first half. And it looks like our defense is falling flat. One would argue the strength of our team is our defense, led by Aaron Donald. You wouldn't know it by the sim. Start waving the white flag. It looks like this game is over. Down 14 in the second half. I mean, that's manageable to come back. It's possible, but unlikely. Let's be honest. It's unlikely. Look, we can't score with any sense of urgency. Every drive's taken like 4 minutes. And when we need the defense to step up, they could not do it. Now, the score looks a lot closer than what it is, but we're playing catch-up that entire game as, is this the end of the Jared Goff? I feel like, to make this rebuild interesting, it probably will be. But then again, if the free agency market is garbage, we might have to just go back, tail between the legs, and negotiate with Jared Goff and his agent. So the offseason, we wimped out because the best quarterback in free agency was Jameis Winston. I didn't know that already. I wimped out before that and gave Jared Goff a franchise tag. Yes, we are beta males on that decision. Looking at our draft, because I still haven't. I'm kind of slack. I've been really busy. Haven't been able to finish the 2020 draft class, so we basically just do the random generated draft class. And when there's a good prospect, we will modify them. And look, my first pick wasn't actually that great. We got a 74 guard Colby Wells, just a random guy. But in the second round, we got a 77 star dev linebacker, which we made Patty Fisher from Northwestern, who will be without a doubt a first round caliber and one of the top linebackers in next year's draft. And then a couple good picks here. Pearson Boyd out of Florida State, just a 74. Actually, confidence boost normal. We got Jadaris Cox, 75, middle linebacker. Then another home run pick in the fourth round, which we modified. It was a 78 guard, which we made Darrell Williams from Mississippi State, who will be one of the top interior offensive linemen in the 2020 draft. So very good draft, very good offseason. We didn't spend a lot of money in free agency because now obviously we're going to have to hammer out a deal with Mr. Jared Goff. And also deal with a lot of in-house signings, so we're being very conscientious of our salary cap. So we had to do a like for a like. Dante Fowler kind of became a little bit expendable with the drafting of Patty Fisher, and we still desperately needed a nose tackle. So the only willing trade partner when we got a very good value back was the Detroit Lions, and we got A'Shawn Robinson, who's like 25, 84 overall, and he's 320-some pounds, so he fits our nose tackle role. So after that big trade, year 3 is here. Our team is looking very good. 91 overall with a 93 offense, 91 defense. Only change on the offense side. Darrell Williams will be starting at left guard. Obviously became that much more easier when we traded Roger Saffold to the Detroit Lions. Aaron McCoy's already up to the 80s. Risner should be in the 80s. Outside of that, I mean, the offense is pretty much kind of peaked here for a lot of these guys, but still very, very good. Defensively, we welcome A'Shawn Robinson, who's 9 points better than who was going to be our opening day tackle. Patty Fisher will start at right outside linebacker. Littleton and Darren Lee are both developing very nicely as our middle linebackers, as is Samson Ebukam. So, yeah, very dangerous team. And also, shout out to the special teams, one of the best special teams units in the National Football League. Hecker's 89, and Legatron is an 87. So, that being said, hey, let's try to make the playoffs and not be one and done here in year number 3. So, the midway point of year number 3, 6-0, a 6-0 record. First in the NFC West. We have just been, they haven't all been blowouts, so they've all been pretty good games. Looking at contracts, here again is why we have not been spending a damn cent in free agency, as Gerald Everett, Samson Ebukam, Nickel Roby Coleman, Cooper Kupp, Jared Goff, and John Johnson, all I'm going to want to pay them all. So let's see if we can do it very quickly here. So John Johnson, I'm a huge fan of him. Excellent. We'll obviously save one of these guys for last. Gerald Everett's been a very nice tight end for us. Oh, he wants more money. Samson Ebukam has been a stud off the edge. Glad we're able to lock that down. Nickel Roby Coleman, very affordable deal for a slot corner. Got him locked down. Cooper Kupp, big-time wide receiver. Had 15 touchdowns in year number 1. Got him locked up. So now it's time for Mr. Jared Goff. Wanted $85 million last year. Now he wants $140, which is kind of what I was expecting in a contract. And just like that, playing on the franchise tag, he was happy to hammer out a long-term deal. So pretty much let's make sure we retain Gerald Everett, and the rest, there's why I have not signed a single soul in free agency. End of year number 3, and our team was incredibly dominant. Now look at that, 97 offense, 95 defense. We were 13-3 during the season. Not surprised at all. Jared Goff, of course, after getting $1 trillion, has his worst year of the rebuild. Still pretty good, though, 3,800 yards, 33 touchdowns, 6 picks. Todd Gurley is a freak of nature, maybe the best statistical numbers we've seen in a rebuild since Le'Veon Bell. I don't think anything's going to top Le'Veon Bell. I remember we got like 2,000 yards and like 20 touchdowns with him in the Steelers rebuild. But Todd Gurley firmly at number 2. Again, no wide receivers are having great years, but then again, if you look at the touchdowns, those are pretty good seasons, especially from Cooper Kupp. On the defensive side, 103 tackles, 9 TFLs, 5.5 sacks from Corey Littleton. We had 11.5 sacks from Donald and Samson Ebukam, and Corey Littleton also was productive in his TFLs. A couple picks across the board. Might have expected that to be just a tad higher. Yearly awards, Ezekiel Elliott got the MVP. Todd Gurley coming in at number 4. Jared Goff at number 7. Coach of the Year went to Sean McVay. In the NFC, Offensive Player of the Year went to Ezekiel Elliott, with Todd Gurley at number 3, Jared Goff at number 7, Defensive Player of the Year, Deion Jones, Corey Littleton coming in at 4, Ebukam at 7, and I don't think we're going to have it. Maybe we might have someone here. Look at that. It's nice. Middle linebacker at number 2. Very cool. Patty Fisher at number 8. So lots of accolades to go around the board with that 13-3 record. I will double check to see if that was actually we were the #1 seed in the National Football League. We were. Very nice. Those goddamn Browns. All right, juggernaut. So, hey, as we spend some quick XP on DJ Killings, former Philadelphia Eagle, we're in year 3 as we host the 8-7-1 Bears. Can we win a playoff game? I don't know. All right, 0-2 in playoffs. I guess the good news is we made the playoffs in every year of the rebuild. So to say optimism is high, there is no optimism. It's the Madden sim. So let's just hope that it's going to be ugly, isn't it? Let's just hope we can dominate the second half and play like the best team in the regular season. That'd be nice. Oh, we're getting stomped. We are getting stomped, man. Just not a playoff team. I don't know what it is about the LA Rams. They are just not a playoff team. And it is showing here in the sim. I mean, we're keeping the game somewhat close. We tied up. Can we not choke away a fourth quarter lead like we did last year? And it looks like we did. And 3 straight years, 1 and done in the playoffs for the Rams. This year stings definitely the most as we had the Offensive Player of the Year in Todd Gurley. I think we did, or was that last year? Or we definitely know for a fact we had the #1 record in the league, and we got bounced by a team that's barely above 500. All right, so we didn't sign anyone in free agency because no holes, and we don't have a whole lot of money. And our draft, I'm not going to lie, literally was the worst draft I have seen in quite some time. So I just decided, I actually went in and I wanted to try to trade a first-round pick next year. And I wasn't getting any offers for future first, so I said, screw it, we're just going to sim it out. So here's how the computer did for us. In the first round, we get a 72 normal dev tight end, 6'8". Big boy with good speed. Second round, we get a 73 corner, Princeton Swanson from Virginia. A couple 60s, a good value pick here in Griffin Adams, 75 running back from Montana. But the rest of the draft, I have no responsibility over the rest of this draft. All right, so before we even begin year #4 on the path to just for the love of God, don't make us one and done. We have another set of gold gloves to hand over to a player, and this is going to Mr. Chopper Style himself, John Johnson III, who I am a massive fan of. First of all, he was a hilarious name when he was coming out of, this is all full credit actually to Mike Mayock. When he was coming out of Boston College in the draft, Mike Mayock went to Boston College, so he was hyping him up. I never really heard about him in the pre-draft, but Mike Mayock on NFL Network was saying this guy's this guy's that. I decided to look him out, and his tape looked really, really good. So shout out to Mike Mayock for helping me get on board the John Johnson trade before pretty much everybody else. So as we ready for our quest for 4 straight 1 and duds, our team is scary good. 96 overall with a 99 offense, 96 defense. No changes to be had on the offense. We got a lot of development over offensive line. That is a common trend in these rebuilds, is that when you win a lot of games for whatever reason, the XP for your offensive lineman just keeps coming and coming at a fast rate. No regressions yet on the offense, so that is really good. That's the keys and the benefits of having a very young offense. Defensively, we had our first little bit of regression here in Michael Brockers. He went from an 88 down to an 85, but other than that, still an exceptionally well-built defense full with a couple 99s. And it's to Aaron Donald and Mr. John Johnson. So, hey, let's try not to be the #1 team in the league again and be 1 and done in the playoffs to a 8-7-1 team. That'd be nice, but it's Madden, so probably won't. At the midway point of year #4, we are a very nice 6-1 record in what is actually being a pretty competitive NFC West right now. So we can't rest on our laurels. We have to keep our pedal to the metal, or else we could get stuck up from behind here in the playoffs, for the playoff race anyways. Looking at contracts here, Robert Woods still is really good, and even though he's getting up there in age, he still has the exact traits we want in a slot wide receiver. We can probably just move Cooper Kupp to the outside. So that's really the only contract. We have enough money probably to make one big signing this upcoming year for what is, let's be honest, clearly going to be setting up for a year 5 Super Bowl bust, where we have to actually physically take control of the Rams to have a chance in hell of winning in the playoffs. Because that's, insert another Madden 19 judgment and criticism here. 6, looking at the NFC West, we didn't get the title, and we almost choked making the playoffs. Pretty much what I said at the midway point, that we couldn't have happened, essentially happened, but maybe this is what we needed. Now we're coming in the playoffs kind of as the underdog against, at least from the record, the 12-4 Bucks. Hey, maybe it'll work in our favor. Looking at our stats here, Jared Goff, very good, 4,000 yards, 40 touchdowns, 12 picks. We got 1,500 yards from Todd Gurley. No 1,000-yard receivers because why not? Defensively, 119 tackles from Corey Littleton. We got 12.5 sacks from Aaron Donald to go along with 17 tackles for loss. 4 picks, Marcus Peters. Just all in all, very consistent as we've seen throughout the rebuild. Ezekiel Elliott got the MVP. Wow. Imagine a time when 40 touchdowns only gets you number 7 in the MVP race. Offensive player of the year went to Ezekiel Elliott. Jared Goff at 6. Todd Gurley at 7. Defensive player of the year went to DeMarcus Lawrence. Darren Lee. So that first-year trade, we knew what we're doing. Coming in at number 7. Yeah, let's go. Come on. Quest to be 0-4 in the playoffs. Okay, we got these big bad Bucks, and we're already actually starting with a touchdown, so that's pretty good. That's pretty cool. I think that was, oh my God, 2 straight inches touchdowns. That's what happens in the sim, man. If you are the underdog in the playoffs, you're going to win 90% of the time. I'll take it, though. I'll take it. This is going to be our run. If us almost choking our playoffs from 6-1 to becoming just a all-right team means that we can go on a deep playoff run, I'm going to do that every single year from now on. I'll force wins to make us go no more than 10 wins and finding a way to squeak into the goddamn wild card round. But we still got, there's a chance the Bucks can come back in this one, even though it's looking less and less likely. And ultimately, we were able to get a 10-point victory in a very ugly game from a passing standpoint. But Todd Gurley went off, 25 carries, 212 rushing yards on the day, 4 touchdowns, as God Turley said, not today, as we move to 1-3 in the playoffs and on to the NFC divisional round. Alrighty, now in the divisional round, taking on Aaron Rodgers, Ron Rodgers, and the Green Bay Packers. This is a pretty good matchup, but again, this fiery wild card 10-win team is playing way better than our third. The fact that I know it's something in the algorithm is what makes this really, really frustrating, because it makes you feel like, why even try building a really good team if you know you always have a better shot, a better chance with a lackluster team? But whatever, beggars can't be choosers. We only got 2 more of these rebuild style videos left. I'm sure we can make do, we can manage, we can suck it up for the next month or so to finish it up, as it looks like, wow, our 10-win team is going to be the hottest team in the playoffs. 4 touchdowns on the day for Jared Goff, as the Rams are going to their first NFC Championship game, beating the Packers 43-22. Conference Championship time in Jerry World. Cowboys get an instant touchdown right off the rip, and we have to struggle and settle for a field goal, which is never a great way to start the game off. But here's hoping we can get a touchdown. Oh, no. This is going to be the game that all we do is settle for field goals and miss short field goals with the best kicker in the game. Do your worst. Just pub stomp me. Who cares at this point? We already know. Like I said, I was already fully prepared to go to year 5 and have to have a hope and chance of me playing very well for us to win. But we have a chance here. Minute 38 left in the 4th. We're down, 5. Let's go! 3rd down. Oh, we got it! 46 seconds! There's no way. Look, this is exciting, right? There's no way that the sim is going to have us lose this game, because clearly, somewhere in that algorithm, it is supposed to say, you know what? Let's make user enjoyment, the experience of the user, be paramount here and not have them get robbed. Oh, surprise, surprise. We got robbed. Year 5. All right, so as we go to a year 5 sewer or bust, we're going to spend here in free agency. First up, Minkah Fitzpatrick at cornerback would be our new number 1 corner, along with Marcus Peters, and Nickel Roby-Coleman can move back to the nickel. And then we got Taven Bryan at defensive end, because unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, but the time came to move on from Michael Brockers. We have very good bids on both these guys, so confidence is high that we'll be able to land both of them and make a very strong year 5 push. So after landing both Fitzpatrick and Taven Bryan, here was our draft. The first round, we got Ben Phoenix. Terrible way to spell Phoenix. 77 star dev wide receiver from Nebraska. Looks really, really consistent. Second round, we got Dietrich Rasmussen. So we got all-time best name draft here. For the second round, a 77 guard, quick dev from Wake Forest. Third round, we got a 75 defensive end, Dell from Florida Atlantic. 71 outside linebacker. I'm not going to lie, I pretty much simmed after Phoenix and Rasmussen were the only 2 picks that I saw worthy. And both these guys actually were like mid-round. I think Phoenix was 3rd round and Rasmussen was 5. So really good draft. As, yeah, pretty much had the most perfect offseason we can as we go forward to a, I don't know why I'm talking like that, but we go forward to a Year 5 Super Bowl or bust. So as we are here for year number 5, literally nothing has changed on the offensive side. We are a 97 overall, 97 offense, 99 defense. Remind yourselves that we are a 99 defense. When you see the performance, how about, you know, the team, especially if we make the playoffs, that we have hypothetically a perfect defense. But yeah, our offense is looking really, really good. Get the 99 Gurley, 90 Cooks, 95 Goff, 91 Cup. I would assume sooner than later, Gerald Everett will be a 90. Eric McCoy, the center we drafted way back in year number 1, already up to a 91 center. Defensively, 99. We welcome Minkah Fitzpatrick, who is a 99. Aaron Donald's a 99. Taven Bryant came in free agency as well. John Johnson, the 3rd, is a 99. We got, obviously, we can't just slide over it. Marcus Peters is a 92. Ebekom's a 92. It's just a baller team. Jordan's actually starting to regress just a little bit, but luckily enough, it's the 5th year, so we don't have to really worry about it. I'm going to say this is like, at minimum, a 12-win team. So let's find out how we struggle to get 10 wins here in year number 5. And at the end of year number 5, hey, first round bye, baby. Spend our points here real quick. See what our team overall is. We are now a 98 overall. This is the best. I don't think we've ever had a 98. We've had a couple 97s, but this is the first time because it always takes your team overall is your special teams, and this is without a doubt the best special teams unit we've had. So there you go. This is, on paper, the best roster we've ever had. So let's just understand that as we enter into the playoffs. We finished with a 12-4 record, which is first in the NFC West. Jared Goff, almost 4,000 passing yards, 34 touchdowns, 6 picks, 1,500 yards, 12 tutties for Todd Gurley. No 1,000-yard receiver, but good year from Gerald Everett and Robert Woods. Defensively, Corey Littleton led the team, 97 tackles, 12.5 sacks, 14 TFLs from Aaron Donald, 4 picks, Minkah Fitzpatrick. Got a lot more turnovers this year. That's what I like to see. MVP went to Ezekiel Elliott for like the 3rd goddamn time this rebuild. Jared Goff coming in at 4, Todd Gurley at 7. Did we get Coach of the Year? Oops. I'll find that at. Oh, no, went to Sean McDermott. Cool. And we got none of these other awards, so who cares? Doesn't matter, right? Let's just not be one and done as we find out that in the divisional round, we are hosting the 9-7 divisional rival Seattle Seahawks. Oh, let's go, Gerald Everett. Big time juke on our opening drive. 4-6, 66 yards for Mr. Jared Goff. But you know what play makes us that we always run in the red zone on the 1-yard line. It is time for Mr. God Turley to do the C4 special himself. We get good blocking. Oh my God, he trips over himself. That was embarrassing. Okay, let's try it again. Here we go. There we go. He had to make up for that one. Oh, let's go. Okay, I'm telling you right now, Gerald Everett might be like the best sleeper tight. I mean, obviously we're a couple years in, but I can already just get that feeling. He's a really good tight end. Look to get him in your franchise mode for all 10 of you guys that are still playing Madden 19. What a catch. Off the deflection. Great concentration there by Gerald Everett. Sim this one out. I feel like, for whatever reason, it almost feels like the last couple years where we know like the Chargers are the sim gods. I kind of feel like the Seahawks are that team that regardless of what happens in the sim, they struggle immensely in the playoffs. And here we go as we choke away our lead there. Oh, I can't lose. Okay, let's go back in. We'll play. We'll finish this game out. All right, first to go on the 16. I don't feel like messing around with any of that fake field goal, ice the kicker nonsense. So we're going to try to go for the touchdown right now and then win it. Let's win it right freaking now. Boom, let's go on the run. Robert Woods wide open. Game never should have been this close to begin with, but I think that should be the dagger that gets us to the NFC Championship game. There we go. Who's that? Matt Nagy, the new head coach of the Seahawks. Okay. Interesting hire. But in a game where it should have been over at halftime, of course, the sim needs to make things interesting. Turns on that Mario Kart catch me up for the Seattle Seahawks. But still, when we needed to, we implemented ourselves in. Able to get the victory. I actually, because I recorded everything else until this game last night. So today it's a fresh day. I decided before I hopped into this to do a calculation, see what the win-loss is for the rebuild. So far this year, we have 17 rebuilds that we've won a Super Bowl. 16 have been failures. So understand that we got 3 rebuilds left. I want to try my best to finish out with 12 wins, 16 losses for the Madden 19 season. But it all starts here with the Rams, and it got a big 42-35 victory. All right, we're on the opening drive here in the NFC Championship game against the Detroit Lions. And no way in hell we want to lose to the Lions, right? So let's go. Let's bring it. Simple slants here. They always think we're going to run C4 special, so pretty much any pass works. And Cooper Kupp gets the opening drive touchdown. All right, after a bunch of back and forth in the third quarter, we are now here in the fourth with our 3-point lead. Now we're pushing. We're on the 5-yard line. First and goal. C4 special hasn't been flawless here with the Rams, but it's been pretty all right as Todd Gurley with, in my opinion, more so than a superstar dev, more so than a clutch trait. Fight for extra yards trait is like the most important trait in this game because that's how things like that happen. That's how you get animations like that where they actually fight and they don't get stuck with that weird, like, you know, I'm running into a wall animation that is horrendous. I know a lot of you guys know what I'm talking about on 3rd and inches. So there you go. Oh, C4 special. Why not do it again for the dagger? All right, let's end this game just like that. I don't know who that is. I think that's just like a randomly generated coach. No longer Mr. Who the hell's the Detroit Lions coach? Matt Patricia. Matt Patricia. That was a short stint. But, no, you know, a pretty handedly easy game for the Rams here as we are going to the Super Bowl. And if you are paying attention to the ticker at any point through the clips, you will know that we are taking on Baker Mayfield and the Cleveland Browns for, I think it'd be, the Rams already have 1 Super Bowl, so it'd be the Rams' 2nd franchise Super Bowl. So on the opening drive, the Cleveland Browns had the ball, and they were only able to get a field goal. Now, we've had a long, methodical drive as we are here in the second quarter, but, oh, come on. Come on. We'll just, actually, you know what? We'll just scamper here, take a couple yards. Myles Garrett has taken over this game. He already has 2 sacks, and, you know, like I said, we got, he's switching up on both sides, but he's going up against our 2 tackles, Havenstein or Dalton Risner, who both are pretty decent players. But look at that. We got them beat on the outside. Brandin Cooks is in for the go-ahead touchdown. Just going to try our best to avoid and contain Myles Garrett right now. Oh, let's go. Robert Woods, what a route. Coverage, Joe Schobert doesn't stand a chance as the Rams get the lead right before halftime. All right, we are first and goal here in the third quarter. 1-point lead, up 14-13. We've actually surprisingly been able to scramble a bit here with Jared Goff. Oh, right there. Gerald Everett, too easy. We are just picking on Joe Schobert. He is the weak link on the defense. As with that, I don't know if we're going to go for 2 or not. It's the sim, but we got a 7-point lead. First and goal on the 3. This could very well be it in the Super Bowl as Todd Gurley proves why he is one of the better C4 special running backs. Clearly, who would have thought a 99 overall running back would excel in the C4 special? But he has, as the Rams get a 28-19 lead. Let's go, Goff. Let's go, Goff. Oh, we are so... I'm literally getting a first down and chewing the clock out. After we got that Todd Gurley C4 special touchdown, the Browns got a touchdown in like 2 plays. So that means the cheese is kicking in. 1 first down, and this game is over. We're going to make it look like we were going to pass it. We're going to run it with Mr. Todd Gurley, get the first down, and win the Super Bowl. And here we come out in victory formation as we claim our 2nd franchise Super Bowl, the first Super Bowl. Oh, I skipped it. God damn it. You know what happens, though. We lift that trophy. We put up a lot more points than what the Rams did in real life against the Patriots. So it is another successful rebuild. Ah, man, why can't you just skip like the 30 seconds of stupid highlights and get right to the trophy presentation? Grinds my gears. But we got the Super Bowl done, a successful rebuild. So with this victory, we go to 18 wins, 16 losses here in the Madden 19 Realistic Rebuild Series. So we're good. We're looking good. I don't think, worst case, we finish 500. So that being said, everybody, thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Realistic Rebuilds. We have 2 teams left. Let me know what team you want to see next week. We have the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Arizona Cardinals. So essentially, what team do you not want to be the finale? Let me know in the comment section below. As always, if your first time stopping by, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button, special like button if you enjoyed. And until next time, it's C4 saying peace out.
Money I'm spending, I'm out and I'm shopping. You talking that shit when you talking and talking. Look at my options, look at me dropping. Ass in the game, like who are you stopping? Not me, not me, not never. Not me, not me, not never. Not me, not me, not never. I'm way too clever. Look at the kid, Mr. Consistent, I'm doing it big. Way too persistent on taking your bitch. Here comes